Before we get to our special guest, I have my two co-hosts with me. You can catch them both on CrescentSports.com. First up, the one and only VK Jones. What's going on, VK?
Hey, what's going on, folks? We are live and direct from Lake Charles, Louisiana for the Boys Top 28, doing coverage for Scoreboard Live and for Crest City Sports. It's good to be here, one of my favorite events and favorite times of the year. So it's a privilege to being on and making the time out to being with y'all guys tonight. It's good to be here, one of my favorite events and
Also
favorite
joining us,
times of the year. So
the
it's
one
good to
and only George
being
Peppers.
on
What's
and
up,
making
George
the time
Peppers?
out to be with y'all.
What's up, Jared Boyd, VK Jones? Good of the three of us to do a show on a Monday night. Great guest lined up, and we're gonna talk a lot of basketball and with some great girls basketball over the weekend, to be sure. And that will be addressed, and maybe a debate we've had off air. I might want to bring it up on air. So tease.
Well, our special guest, he's been a head coach for over 40 years. He has won 6 state championships, and he has the St. Thomas More Cougars back in the semifinals in a game this Wednesday night against Pineville. Our special guest, the one, the only coach, Danny Broussard. Coach Broussard, how you doing? And thank you for joining us.
I'm doing great, man. I'm glad I love being on the show. Appreciate you guys inviting me.
Oh, Coach, it's an honor and it's a pleasure. We thank you for taking time out your schedule to join us. Coach, I want to go back to December. You had open heart surgery. My
Yeah,
question to you right now, how are you feeling? How is your health?
man. I tell you, I'm a blessed man. I'm a lucky man. I tell people I never did feel bad. I went in for a regular checkup. My cholesterol level was a little bit high. Nothing alarming, really, though, but kind of high. My regular doctor says, "Hey, have we ever done a calcium test?" I said, "I don't know what that is." And took tests, and I knew it wasn't good. Whenever they told me I'd get the results about 3 days, and on the same day, I would just finish practice. We were kind of getting ready for the sun kiss shootout. Me and my working on, and my phone rings. I look down. I'm like, "Oh man!" I answered the phone. I didn't say. Dang, doc, am I dying? And he goes, "No, but it ain't good, coach." And from there, and next thing I know, a week later, I'm doing triple bypass.
What what were the thoughts in your mind knowing that you had to miss part of the season?
Yeah, I mean that that was by far the hardest part. I'm like, we were right in the middle of tournament season. Matter of fact, that we were going to the country coming up, in a couple of days, and I guess timing wise, it probably couldn't have been any worse. I tell people the one thing that did keep me going was it was during the bowls, and so I got to watch bowl games on TV, and that kind of kept me entertained a little bit. But man, yeah, I missed all three tournaments we were in. I missed the Country Day, I missed the Sugar Bowl, I missed the Sunday, and that was like 12 games, So, man, the fortunate thing is I had missed one game in the early 80s, and, they didn't have any streaming. I couldn't watch that game. So my assistant coach called me after the game was over. I said, "How did we do?" He said, "We won." I'm like, "Great." But I had no idea what went on. Well, this time I watched all 16 games that I missed. So it was good and bad about that. My blood kind of went up in the first couple of games. And then I figured out, you know what? Ain't a damn thing I can do. So I kind of relaxed a little bit for those last couple of games. Just tried to watch and critique, and then tell our coaches and players what we had to work on. But it was definitely a weird situation. And again, like I said, man, I'm blessed that I'm able to still be around, and blessed that I finished out the season going pretty strong here.
Yes, sir. It's funny going back to that Sugar Bowl tournament, and I'm walking around and I see your team playing, and I
Yeah.
didn't see you. And I asked VK. I said, "VK, did Coach Broussard retire?" And VK says, "No, he had surgery." And I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, I didn't know."
Yeah.
I saw Coach West coaching the guys.
Yeah.
But with that being said, when you returned, the team, only Coach West knew, but the team did not know that he was coming back the, in the game
Right.
against Turley's Catholic. What was that feeling like?
Man, I see you've done your homework. You know what's going on. I'm impressed.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's kind of funny because my physician, my Dr. DeWitt, said that I could go back on Monday. And so I said, this was on a Thursday. I said, man, Doc, I got a big game tomorrow night. You think I can there? And he goes, yeah, you're good to go. He said, you can go ahead and go. So I kind of want to surprise the guys because they thought maybe I was going back the next week. And so stuck me in it because I didn't want to go in the front because I never got to the door of school and stuck into the dressing room and just gonna take the seat, the smile. Like the first guy I saw was Chad Jones, 6'7", and the first guy I saw was Chad Jones. I saw that smile come across his face, kind of gave a good feeling, like they were glad to see me back. Yeah, it was awesome. I'll be honest with you, JP. I was, I told people this, get nervous for games, and I can remember back to my first game with Ville High. I could almost replay the game for you, and I could tell you I was nervous as hell for that game. And at halftime, we were down by like 5 or 6. I'm like, the first playoff game, I'm going to get fired before I even start over here at STM. Well, we came back and won that game. And after that, I was tired. I know, nervous again. But I'm honest with you. When I got to that tournament game, I was like, man, I better, because if not, they'll say, Coach, why don't you take the rest of the year off? Let Wes and Coach Welch and Coach Ricky for the season. They're doing pretty good without you, So I did kind of feel the pressure for that Turlings game, but about 15 points. So it really was. It was a pretty good welcoming back game for sure.
Oh, I'm sure it was. And Chad Jones also scored his 1,000th point that game. So it was a pretty big night, not only for you, but for also Chad Jones. My next question, you've won 6 state titles. You won 4 in a row from 2018 to 2021.
Yeah.
Also, your program has been very consistent. What is the key to being and staying a consistent program?
Yeah. I think when I look back on my career, when I first started off, I learned from my brother Ricky. He's a great coach, and he left STM after the first year. That's kind of how, I'm not sure people know the story, but real quickly, basketball coach, and he got offered a job at USL under Bobby Pascal. And so I kind of snuck in there the second year. We had started the school year off, really couldn't get anybody at that particular time. So they pretty much said, look, go ahead, this year, and we'll go from there. Hey, y'all, can y'all kind of quiet down back there? I'm sorry, my grandkids are playing back there. But anyway, so I got kind of thrust into that job, and I thought sure after the first year I lost my first playoff game, I was done. But they stuck with me, and I was 22 years old. They kind of look, let's give him another year. He did pretty good. We won district, but lost our first playoff game. And so they gave me another year. 3 years later, in 1986, I win the state championship, and I'm thinking, man, this is pretty easy. This ain't too hard, So, but little did I know it's going to take me another about 25 years to win my second. We won been nine straight years now, and like we put together 4 in a row. Like we got a pretty capture one, although there's some good teams. But just going back to your question, I said I got to have a philosophy of what I'm going to do, and I kind of built my whole philosophy about the fundamentals of basketball. I kind of learned that from my brother, and I think that's kind of what carried. And I've been blessed with really good players. Over the years we've had some really good basketball at STM. So, and I've been blessed with some great assistants. So I never want to take the credit because it very much spread out, I can tell you. But I think the reason why we've had so much success is I think we're one of the most teams in the state. I think sometimes against teams that maybe a little bit better than you, if you make less mistakes, you do the fundamental things. I think sometimes that allows you to maybe win some games that you don't maybe not necessarily always could win. And I think that's kind of one of the things that we built the program on. And I think it's over a long period of time.
Wednesday, you are facing Pineville. What is it about Pineville that you have seen on film?
I tell you, I'm impressed with Pineville. First of all, I'll tell you a little quick story. In '86, I took that first state championship. Coach Sears' dad was the head coach at Grant High School, and we played Grant for the state championship. Grant High School had a kid named Russell Springer. He later played for the Houston Astros as a pitcher. Best player was Lyle Mouton, who became a professional baseball player for the Chicago Whites. How crazy was that? That we had two professional baseball players on that court playing for a state championship. Isn't that ironic? Well, now Coach Spears' son, is the head coach at Pineville. So it's kind of funny how that's come, all the way in a full circle, so to speak. And so they're a well-coached team. He does a great job with that team. For a long stretch, Pineville had some pretty talented winning, for a while. I remember Coach Ronnie Kaiser and I remember Coach Tudor were two great coaches. And then I don't know what happened, but they had a stretch where they really weren't that good, but they're good again. I'm really impressed. I should know the names. I can't remember. When you get old, you got triple bypass. Blood doesn't flow all the way to the brain, maybe. But I don't know his name, but he's really good. He's real active in that many he's offensive glass, man, offensive rebounds. We need to keep him off the boards. He posts and finishes. Got great touch around the basket. The number one is a great guard for them. To be honest with you, I think Carr should have won that game at Pineville, but the number one hit two big shots, 2 3-pointers for them that elevated them to be able to win that game. And they got a couple of guards that are good, so a pretty bad team. They have all the ingredients you need with the bigs and the good guards and the shooters that it takes, And so we got our hands full. I'm gonna tell you, they're not the number 4 ranked team for nothing. And look, I'm pretty sure they beat Peabody. I think they did beat Ash. They split, and they beat Natchitoches Central. That was one of their losses. But they beat Captain Shreve. So they've got some good wins. And look, all 4 of their losses are to some good teams. I might be wrong about Peabody. Peabody might have beat them, but I think it was anyway. If you look at their schedule, those 4 losses they have are to all really, really good teams. So we have our hands full on Wednesday night. I'm going to tell you one thing right now. A lot of people are talking about Liberty, St. Thomas More. Well, look, I'm sure Southwood has something to say about it. Pineville's got something to say about it. I am not looking to the Liberty game. I'm looking right here at Pineville because I can tell you right now, we better be ready for them or else we will not get to the championship game.
VK Jones.
Coach Broussard, man, it's good to see you. Good to hear from you and everything. I'm glad you're doing well and all that stuff. I told the assistant coaches that I was praying for you and everything because I was really stunned that I didn't see you, man. I was like, he usually here,
Yeah.
So, but it's good to have you back.
Appreciate it.
But no problem. But want to ask you this at first. You know what I'm saying? The way your team has been playing this year, y'all played a very tough schedule, but not just that. How now you have a possibility of, this could be something bannerous potential here for you that you could get STM in a position to win in a higher classification more than anything else because y'all now in Division 1. What are your thoughts of the move, and was it your idea to say, hey, let's play in Division 1 this year?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. When you look at the Division 1 teams, I'm going to give a perfect example, and it's kind of funny. This is kind of how JB didn't kind of say how this kind of started, but my connection with him was, and look, I totally understood where he was coming from, and he said, he said, hey man, look, I'm telling you, Bonham was a team that could beat us. Yeah, look, he wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. That's the best 17 seed I've ever played in the playoffs. And to think that they were a team, Bonneville has a really good team. Coach Higgins does a good job with that. Guards as good as guards as I've seen all year long, man. I'm telling you, I'm worried about that game. People look at that game and we won by 20, but I can tell you, into the fourth quarter, that was a 5-point game. We kind of messed up our defense a little bit, and the shots stopped falling, and we started making ours. And we had to fight for that first game. And then, and then Ash came and bought it again on Friday night. And when that, but yeah, Division 1 is no joke, man. It's awesome. I love it. I love competition. Now I've always said this, and I know a lot of people talk about how this new system that's watered down. Look, I'll say this. I agree about the first couple in the that it was kind of watered down. Okay, you look. I'm gonna tell you, when I win those 4 in a row, when we won those 4 in a row, I could tell you, well, maybe not the first year, but those next 3 years, I could tell you going in that, man, unless something really bad happens, we're going to the Final Four. We're going to make it to Lake Charles, whatever. But did I know we could win it all? No, because Final Four teams, when you're talking about the U Highs who won tonight, when you're talking about the U Highs, the De La Salles of the world, these are good basketball. And so those Final Four, it was legit. Those are some good teams. Again, I told you we were going to make it to the Final Four. Now in Division One, now in this division, man, it's back like it used to be. The quarterfinal game was these 2 games here. I mean, Liberty's proven they a really good schedule like us. Our only loss in the state of Louisiana is to Wasserman, who has a turn in Final Four. So our schedule's close, but I love Division One. I love playing against the best. I think that's how it's supposed to be. And for me, I don't think it's ever going to happen, man. But I'd love to see it like in the old days with together, public, private, all that together. I mean, it's now when you think about it, I mean, Bonneville's a public. I mean, we're in there with public schools, right? Pineville's public, Bonneville's public, Alexandria's public. We're not really only private school, but we're select because now they judge in these select schools, But it's almost all together. It's just that the real publics who don't have 20% of the population outside the zone. But again, I'd love to see it all come back together and united again. But I don't think the principles of that happen because I think they're about their own interests and they're not about the interest of everybody. So I doubt we'll ever get back together. But I will say this: being in Division One, it's been great.
Man, and I really, we would love to have everybody back together. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if it was JB that said what he said about Bonneville. I'm gonna be real with you. I've been knowing you a long
I
time,
put it on
man.
Twitter. I put it on Twitter. I
Oh, you
said
put it on Twitter?
I
Okay,
think
okay.
I don't have the chance to be that team. I put that. I did put it on Twitter.
Well, on the Hash It Out show, I actually said that Bonneville could do it, and at the same time, I was like, they present matchup problems, but for y'all pulling that win
Yeah.
off, I mean, I'm like that's a team that's resilient, that's a team that's battle tested, and
Yeah.
it just really didn't surprise me. I just in the beginning, I was thinking down the line, I was shocked that y'all guys was in Division One. I was like, STM some way somehow will be there, and y'all there now. But looking at these other teams and everything else, like you mentioned, there's some really good teams and everything else.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna ask you about Liberty right quick. Not
Yeah.
going ahead, but does Liberty kind of remind you a little bit of Landry Walker when they first won the state championship?
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty fair comparison. I would, yeah. Man, I've only seen. I'm telling you, I'm not looking past this game. I've only seen like one or two films of Liberty. I did see. Matter of fact, I watched. This is funny, but I was still. I had not been back to the bench yet, and I got to watch Liberty against Catholic at Catholic because it's on this. I think Catholic. I don't know, but I was just kind of picking around, and man, the game pops up, and so I watched that game, and that was Catholic led almost the whole way. But man, the thing that impressed me about Liberty is you could tell maybe it wasn't their better games of the year, but man, they just they had a little stretch of about 2.5 minutes where they just locked down. They got stops. They hit a big 3-point shot. The post guy got. They just have those intangibles that they just know how to get it done, man. And they're kind of seasoned. They just know how to play the game, and man, they got some tremendous athletes, and I'm just impressed with their. Even though they're not, I don't know, I couldn't size, but I don't think they're that. I don't think those guys are that big, those post guys, but they know how to post up. They know how to finish inside. They're just so physical and strong, and then their guard play is good. And I think I saw multiple, 2 or 3 guys that were able to shoot the three. It's a tough matchup for anybody, man. They just have a lot of talent, and again, Coach White, he does a good job, man. He knows, he's been. I don't know, he's probably been there now. What, about 7 or 8? But he's been there for quite a while now. He got the job when he was really young, but he's getting seasons. He's doing a good job with those guys, and man, I tell you, like I said, country on Pineview. I don't want to not lose sleep tonight because that'll be a tough win. But look, like I'm telling you, Southwood's got. I'm hearing again. I just saw the little clip of him, but my understanding is he's one of the best players in the state. The kid from Southwood. So I'm sure he'll give Liberty some issues. And again, we'll have to both go and earn these wins. They're not going to give them to us. I can tell you that.
I agree with you on that, Coach. And taking a look, more than anything, talk about your team a little bit. Talk about it seems like it's a collection of people. It's one of those STM teams. Like, you can't really say who's the best player. You have a collection of people that steps up and is a different person every night, and it could be potentially maybe one of your deepest teams with a lot of weapons.
Yes, I totally agree with that. With your evaluation, it's right on spot. Obviously we have Chad Jones is 6'7", so he's a difference maker. What I love about Chad is, he's a total team player. Look, I love this kid. He's one of the most intelligent players I've ever coached. I say this all the time. We run a lot of special sets. A guard or forward will forget. Chad knows not only knows what he knows to do in the play. The player on our team has to be, and he directs the traffic out there. Same thing on defense. One time we play in the back, and he's vocalizing to everybody. When they overload, he'll tell them, "Hey, we got to overload." So he's kind of our vocal guy on that core. He had a heck of a talk about Bonneville. I'm serious. They did a great job on Michael Mouton, who's been kind of our lead scorer. They balled him up. Chad went off for 30 points and 10 rebounds in that game. So he really broke out and had a hell of a game. Chad's an imposing figure. He's one of our better players. Michael Mouton's another senior. Michael just has the ability to score the basketball. He can shoot the three. He gets to the rim. He also has that you don't see a lot of kids have anymore, but he's got that mid-range game. Really good at putting on the floor. He could pull up and knock down that 12-footer, He's really been good for us. Interesting enough, my point guard was the backup, and when we lost one of our players, and he was the sixth man all year long, and he's been thrust into the starting spot as our point guard. Man, he's really done. Sometimes guys surprise you. You're like, man, I don't know, but he's physically, he's really done a good job. He's been our leading assist guy. He's getting the ball to the right guys. We have Anthony Angel, another senior that's paid his dues. He's also a guy that can really, he can put some numbers up. He's got a nice touch. He's one of our leading percentage guys from the field this year. He's really done a good job for that. That really just gets no credit, but might be the glue is a kid named Elijah Guidry. He was started as a sophomore last year. He's a junior. And I'm telling you, he's not flashy. I even had some of my, we get a bunch of alumni at my games, and a couple of my alumni said, "Coach, tell me about Guidry." And I know where they were going at. They were like, "Well, why are you starting this kid?" I'll tell you, just watch him. He blocks out all the time. He guards their best player. He doesn't make any mistakes. He's the glue to our team, and he really is. And kind of what's helped out this year. Last year, he had an off year shooting. He really kind of was in a slump all year long. He really didn't score much for us. But this year, as a matter of fact, he's our leading 3-point. He's right at almost 38%, almost 40% and he doesn't shoot a ton of them, but when he shoots them, he makes them. And so he's done a good job at the 3-point line. Like I said, he just kind of does everything. And so, like you talked about, that's kind of our starting five. And then we bring a kid off the bench. Hayes Regard has been playing really good, shooting the ball well. We got a kid that just does all the dirty work. Is a kid named Grayson Roy, he's only 6'2", but he battles the 6'10" guys. He just brings physicality to the game for us. And he's been a big spark for us. And then we have one sophomore, Zarian Babineau, that is kind of getting his own at the beginning of the year. Maybe it was a little tentative, but now he's feeling he had a big rebound the other night against Ash when they cut it to 5. He had a good block out rebound. I fouled. He made 1 or 2 free throws. So we got. I think I mentioned about 8 guys, and we play about 8 to 10 almost every game. We have some depth. Very fortunate, but that's the thing. You want to stop Mouton. We have some other guys that can kind of fill the roles. So I think we're kind of hard to defend. We're running 5-man motion. All our guys are all pretty good. So we present some problems, some matchups we play, and again, we've been shooting the ball. Beginning of the year, we weren't shooting great. We relied on our defense. and guys, it's kind of ironic, but I think I was telling everybody, man, listen, I think we'll be able to score a lot this year, but I'm really worried about us defensively. And it's kind of funny, but we kind of doing I don't know what you want to. It's a cross between pack line defense and just regular basic, because we've experimented with both. I kind of think the pack line has kind of helped our regular man to man, and we're certainly not all pack line by any means, but it's kind of a mixture. It's weird to do. Like, I'm not even sure sometimes what the hell we're doing out there, but it's worked good for us. And we I think our defensive average is right at 46. The school record was 47. So depending on these next, this team could set a defense, and we've had some pretty good defensive teams, but this could be our best defense ever. So, that's kind of, I think, why we've got this #1 ranking. I think we kind of hang our hat. Hey, we're going to be guard you. We're going to guard you. And, to be honest with you, a lot of man, but we played some matchup zone. That's just what we do. Well, and that's since I've been there. I just believe in changing. It's just keeping the other team, kind of honest a little bit. If they get a little roll, we'll mix it up on. Sometime the other night we tried to half-court trap. Bonneville killed us on a half-court trap. They killed us. Now we got on the full court press. It's funny how sometimes just different work. But so again, we see what works on some teams. We go with that and we roll with what's good that night.
I'm gonna ask you one more thing, and I'm gonna give it over to George Peppers. I mean, like looking at things now, like you're healthy now, you're back on the floor, you're going to one of your favorite places, Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Yeah.
You're doing different things health wise now. Less, a little more healthy eating, or little, what things are gonna be different this time since you are recovering, but especially coming back to your favorite place, because the people love you in Lake Charles, and I think we all love you because you're a straight up history book to us.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. It's kind of, I did tell myself when I was out that, listen, man, when you go back, or maybe just focus on the positive. Don't worry about all the negative stuff, the officiating. Just be focused on your team and be more positive, and just relax a little bit. And that worked for about a quarter, and then after that, I'm back to my. I guess in my DNA. I'll be honest with you. On Tuesday night against Bonneville had me stressed, man, and I was getting after it. And I told myself in the court, I said, man, I better sit down for a little while here. I'm feeling a little stressed out here. And my wife gave me a comment. She goes, I did much better Friday night than I did Tuesday. She was worried about me on Tuesday. I was stressed. So, it's funny. But again, I thought I was going to try to be a little bit more, subdued, relaxed. And it's just not me. I just can't do it. I'm just high energy. I'm enthusiastic. It's just how I am. And I tried it, but so see the same Danny Broussard they've seen in the past. I don't think there's much difference in me. I'm still intense, and it's just who I am, But y'all, I'll tell you this much though. I really learned that to along the way. I'm gonna tell you that because sometimes you take a lot for granted, and I got a chance that maybe I was lucky to get. You know what I'm saying? I think the good Lord, it just wasn't my time, because had it gone unnoticed, it could have. I do have a second lease on life, and I'm kind of learning to appreciate things more. While I'm on that topic, y'all, I can't say enough about our staff, about the job they did. When you look at Wesley Cortez, 12 years with me, y'all, we think alike now. He's been with me for so long. Y'all, I'll tell you a funny thing. When I'm watching these games early on, he's making a run like timeout. And y'all, not 10 seconds later, the whistle, referee says, timeout Cougars. I said, that's my boy. He comes out the timeout. Guess what? He's running a special play that I was thinking about running. He knows. He thinks like me. Hell of a job. We got a new guy named Ryan Welty, who's been a godsend, y'all. We stole him from UL. He's broken down film for 10 years. And when I'm telling you, this guy's a defensive. Listen, we know what the other team's running before they know what they're running. And I'm He's prepared us. He's done an awesome job. And then we got my brother Ricky, who's 75 years old, who I was assistant 42 years ago, and now he's my assistant. So it's a funny dynamics on that bench, but they did an unbelievable job when I was away. And look, let's not look over the fact about 15, 16, 17-year-old kids who lost their head coach. I mean, I'm not going to say what you want, right, but I'm not there. I'm not calling the timeout. I'm not screaming at them. I'm not making half comment, you know. And I mean, those kids, man, I'm just telling you, man, they had the will to say, hey, man, listen, this is not going to change what we do together, and we're going to wait when Coach Danny comes back, and we're going to be even better and stronger. And that's exactly it. And hats off to my young men, because they're tremendous, man. I love these kids. They'll do anything for me, and I'll do anything for them. And that's why I'm so passionate about. I think they just. I want this team to win a state championship. I'm just telling you, if you were there every day in practice, you would understand that they deserve it, because they've done everything that we've asked them to do this year. And so I'm pulling hard for them because they deserve a state championship.
And that's and you said that it was your brother that's the assistant coach. I mean,
Yeah.
That's who we seen on that sideline, Jared, in that Sugar Bowl game.
Yeah,
because it looked like Coach Bruce. Like, no, that's not. But I didn't know it was your brother, man.
Yeah.
George Peppers.
Coach Broussard, first off, let me echo the sentiments of my co-host and saying welcome back belatedly. And thankful. We're so very thankful that you're on the sideline. And I have the same story about that because I was with my guys at the Sugar Bowl, and I kept saying, "No, VK, he's there. That's him. That's him. I swear that's him." He's like, "No, man, the man had surgery." And I was like, Jared, I had no clue that you had bypass surgery. And I'm like, "He's there. No, I don't believe you. No, you're lying." We always have these fun arguments, and I'm like, "Man, he's there." And just to see you now, and now your team is into the top 20. I'm very thankful that you've made it back, and I'm glad to see that you're back where you belong on the sidelines. I just want to say that to you before we start.
Appreciate that.
First question, anytime, and it's heartfelt. Um, First question. St. Thomas More, not just in basketball, but in football, the girls basketball team, you guys have made 9 straight trips to the top 28. The football team has won 3 straight titles. The girls basketball team is an excellent. Talk about the standard of the athletic program at St. Thomas More and what you guys do to uphold that standard.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember this, but our girls soccer team just won their. I think they said, yeah, LHSC is the first time any won in soccer 7 straight championships. Our boys soccer won it last year. They fell. They won it last year. It's kind of what I'm proud about, to be honest with you. Again, I've been there for 42 years, and to see the growth of our athletic program, and that, like you just talked about, like we've won in our girls volleyball. Coach Jess won her 8th state championship in a row. She has won 8. So that's kind of what makes me proud. You see some schools that have hours in, like you talked about, maybe just football or just basketball, But man, we've kind of been excellent in everything. And y'all, I'm just telling you, I'm around some. We didn't mention girls softball. Coach Wagisback. Look, I've been around some great coaches. I think Coach Wagisback's it's unbelievable. I learned from her, even though it's a totally different sport. But it's unbelievable, her coaching technique and her style. She's one of the best coaches I've ever met. And, shit's it done too. So I think we all feed off of each other. Jim Hightower's a legend, man. The guy's, won 3 now. I think he's won a total of 5 now because he won one at B. Me and Jim have been there for a long time. Coach Jess has been everything. So, and our staff, I think we push each other to be the best. I think we support one another, and we learn from one another, we learn. So it is something that we're really, really proud about, that we really won in all sports. And, it's to know that we have that kind of excellence about our athletic program. And I think all in supporting one another and getting, it kind of pressure on, they get, hey man, why we got 4 state champions? You're gonna be the 5th one this year in school, puts a little pressure on you. Kind of love that, But we have a great staff, y'all. We really blessed. We really are. with a those people about Jesper volleyball. It's a great coaching staff.
Mhm. Yeah, you mentioned Coach Hightower being a legend. I'm going to put you in that class too. I believe you're a legend. You've got 6 titles in your career, and of course, 9 straight trips to March Madness. Feels like you could take up residency in Lake Charles at this time of the year every year. It feels like it because I've been there 9 straight times. This one though, I think it feels like it means a little more considering what you went through. I mean, how do you feel about this team going into this semifinal with the backdrop of what happened to you earlier this year?
It's certainly a difference. And like I told you, just to see what I went through, and it would be a special. It would be a special one for sure. They never get old, and every team has its own identity. And I can tell you what makes it special. They're all different. But certainly, just
Hmm.
all the I mean, it's like you say, you can't make up this season what happened. It's so icing on the cake. I mean, look, I'm so proud that we got there. Obviously, we just feel like we got unfinished business. We feel like, man, again, I look out to the top 28. Wesley, my sister Wesley was on that team. When I'm telling you, just to get there was like the greatest feeling. And like we were saying, like, you know what, we beat St. Martinville to go. St. Martinville had a really good team. We beat them at their gym. And look, we got married. They had 2 studs in that team. One kid went to USC. I forgot where the other kid went, but they were really good, and they beat us bad. But it was a feeling of accomplishment that we even got there that year. But again, for this team and this year, it's like, okay, we're excited about it, but we got some unfinished business, and we certainly not, we want to go win this thing, and we're going to do everything within our power, and
Hmm.
it cap off a special season with some special memories and some special happenings.
Feels like the emotions are going to be palpable if that happens. And of course, I agree with you in that respect. My next question, we talk about how you guys always play a tough schedule, but you play in 2 of the more preeminent tournaments, the Sunkist Shootout and the Sugar Bowl. Talk about the level of competition in both those tournaments and how that has helped you to get this team to where they are year in and year out.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I talked a little bit about my philosophy, and after a few years there, I realized that, man, you got to prepare your kids. What better way than to search out the best in the state of Louisiana and play those year in and year out, and so make you find out how good you are. What you did mention. We went to Corinth, Mississippi. We played against Raymond. Won the Class 4A state championship. They won the state championship game by 12 points. We played Huntsville, Alabama, who was ranked in the top 25 in the country. Unfortunately, they got tripped up in the semi. I want to see the team that beat them. I don't know. Huntsville might have had a bad game, but when I'm telling you, Huntsville one of the best teams I played in a long, long time. So that thing in Corinth, along with just talked about Sugar Bowl and Sunkist playing MRA in the finals. It's really prepared us for this moment, and a long time ago too that for some reason I'm not a good, I'm a poor loser, and I think that, I don't know why, but I more think get beat and saying, how can I make this team better? Sometimes you just win it. You think everything's rosy, but you're not looking at at some of the shortcomings that your team has, and I think when you experience a loss, you kind of say, okay, what happened here? Let's evaluate. What are our shortcomings? What do we have to work on? And the Wasserman team kind of showed God, but certainly early in the season, I really learned a lot about our team because this was for Thanksgiving. I just started, and look, we started our season. We won our first 2, but we're 2-2. And I'm like, you have the rest of the year. And but when I'm telling you, I have a great feeling. And you know what? Man, we played against some really competition. We should have beaten Raymond. We lost on our last second shot against Raymond. Now, Huntsville played us pretty good. It was like 12 points. We hung in there for half a game, but they really put it on us. But again, I think you learn from your losses. And so I'm just, and again, some people said, how do you get to be these PowerPoints, we played a couple of teams that had our district that had a bad record. And I don't worry about those things. I just play my schedule, whatever I have scheduled. I'm not one of those guys that's going to look at it and say, oh, man, I'm going to drop this game because this PowerPoint is going to kill us. If I schedule a game, I'm living up to my word. I'm playing that guy. I'm not going to call him and ask him to cancel. And if it drops us to number 2 or 3, so be it. But it was so tough that even playing a team with 3 wins, and we won that game, but it drops your PowerPoints a little bit. But again, we played such a tough schedule that those games really didn't bother us. We've been number 1 since the first time the ratings came out, and we've maintained it through the whole year. Like I told our guys, I said, hey, you know what? Number 1, sweet. It's a bragging rights. You can brag about it. But when it got to the playoffs, I told them, I said, hey, care that day 17 and we won. That don't mean nothing to them. Care less. And that's how we kind of approached it, that okay, so great, we earned it. Now we got to go prove it that we're the number 1 team. And nothing, the one's great, but unless on Saturday we celebrate them, it really doesn't mean a lot. So we've kind of focused in on that, saying, hey, okay, we've earned it right, number 1, but now we got to go out and prove it. So that's where we're at right now. Again, 2 big ones to go, but it's going to be it's going to be a chore. I'm telling you right now. I've been doing this for 40. I know what I'm up against. We got some tough challenges, and neither one of those games are going to be whoever we play.
I looked up Pineville's schedule while you were mentioning about Peabody, and that game actually was canceled. It was supposed to schedule for February 13th or something. That game never actually got played.
Oh, you're
So
right.
I don't know what happened, or
Yeah,
I don't know the logistics or what happened with that.
Did
But
you?
my next question.
My bad.
Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
I was going to ask you. I know if I have 4 losses, their 4 losses are to Ruston, play for the Division 1 public championship. They lost one of them to Ash. They split with Ash. Ash beat them in a district game.
Yep.
They lost to Wall. Now they beat Captain Street, but there's one loss, and I can't remember. But did you see it on that schedule? Do you remember?
I could look it up real fast right now as I'm talking to you.
Yeah, it's okay.
I got it.
Well,
I got it right here, George.
gotta be
Ruston.
all right. Thank you.
Natchitoches Central, Ruston.
There you go.
Team name Washita Parish, and
Yep.
Alexandria. Those are the 4 teams they lost to.
There you go.
Well, my next question, leading in.
So you can tell. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a robust basketball team.
Yes, it is. That's a good schedule. So that's fine. Go ahead.
Yep. Next question. The format, the way I know you talked about wanting to unite, but it feels like March Madness has taken on an identity every year, and it's really grown. And it feels more like, I don't know if this is the most accurate term, an elongated celebration of excellent basketball, because you got semifinals and finals. How do you like this format, the way it's drawn out, and it's drawn out from Monday through Saturday? What are your thoughts on this format, the way it's constructed?
Are you sick? Wait, I'm sorry, but I can't hear y'all anymore. Let's see. Am I still on, guys? I think it froze up.
Yes, you are.
You still here, Coach? We hear you. Can you hear us?
All right. Hello?
Coach, can you hear me?
Coach?
I don't see it. I don't see the screen moving, guys. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
hear you. We
Can
hear
you
you.
hear us?
Yes.
He can't
Where's
hear
the
us. He can't
voice?
hear us. Let's see if we get close to. Can't hear me.
Lacey, you still here? Tell Lacey to come see me. I'm getting my daughter on here. Hold on. I can't hear y'all.
Okay. Gotta love live sports talk, guys.
That's it. Live television, live
Then
stream,
the phone,
whatever you want to call.
the phone call came on, and when the phone call came on, it messed it up. I'm live right there.
That's what it was.
Oh,
Somebody
it
called
is.
them. Yeah, somebody called them. Yep.
Yeah, that's always a
That's
sound
it.
barrier.
Can y'all hear me, guys?
That's what it is. Yes, sir. We can hear you. We can hear
Yes.
you.
I can hear you.
He can't hear us. So I'm going to text him to log out and log back in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. So he's logged out. Let's see if we can get him. All right.
Y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir. Can you hear us, Coach?
Hey, thank God for my beautiful daughter right here.
That's right.
She's the MVP tonight.
She saved me twice tonight. I'm terrible with
That's
that.
it.
My phone rang and I think I hit something anyway. Sorry. All right, so repeat that. Repeat your last question. I'm so
Go ahead,
sorry.
George.
Absolutely. And look, no apologies necessary. Look, sometimes phone calls come at the most inopportune times. I know I've had it happen even doing this show where the sound goes off a little bit too. That said, the question I wanted to ask you with you mentioned earlier you wanted to unite back, you are in favor of uniting, but with the way this format is constructed in basketball, it seems like March Madness has really elevated and escalated to a, and I don't want to say it that way, but I guess I can, a week long celebration of excellent basketball. What are your thoughts of how this week, it is? I mean, it feels like old hat to you because you've been here 9 straight times. But what are your thoughts on this format as it's constructed?
Yeah. Well, you raise a good point. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, man. There's when you look through this whole bracket, you look at the history of the top 28. When you see a lot of teams back in there, like the Florines, Gibson Coleman's. That again, there's some really good teams throughout this whole bracket. And yeah, I tend to agree with you. The only bad thing is that, in my opinion, is that I wish there was a way. Like I hate to see a 12 o'clock game. You know what I'm saying? A 2 o'clock game. That's the tough thing that these schools are playing early in the morning. I know one time, this is not this regime, but this lady was in charge of that. I'm not even gonna bring up her name, but she put us at 11 and she put Washington Marion at 1:30. And I mean, man, that she put those late games. Washington Marion would have packed the Burton Coliseum. But she had already predetermined the times before she even knew who was playing, and that wasn't done the right way. But anyway, that's the only drawback I see is just the times. Having to play at noon. I don't know, because there's so many divisions, they got to do it that way. I wish there was a better way to just play. It almost had to be over a 2-week period. And I guess they couldn't do that. But no, but what you said is true. I mean, there's some really good basketballs, and look, man, I played for Mo High School, a Class C school, and a little bit of trivia here. Guess who Mo High School in 1977 lost to in the state championship game? Any ideas? Any guesses?
I'm guessing
77.
mine.
1977.
Yeah,
What class?
Class C.
Jawali? I don't know. I'm just gonna throw a name out there. I have
Yeah,
no
what's
idea.
Great guess. Hey, I lost to Carl Malone, Summerfield High School, and I lost to Carl.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's my claim to
The
fame.
mailman delivered.
I'm
The mailman delivered that night, huh, Coach? I guess, for lack of a better philosophy. Um,
so yeah,
but wow,
yeah.
I'm flummoxed now, JB. I mean, learning this is you learn a lot of different things with many guests, and this was a big factoid to learn here. You
Yes.
lost to the mailman. I mean, that's a legend. That's a Hall of Famer. You know, but uh, you talked about your team. H- as far as how you guys have played down the stretch here, do you feel like your team is hitting their stride, or do you feel like that this team is still got more to give as we head into the semifinal game on Wednesday against what looks to be an upstart and a very young and talented Pineville team?
I agree. Yeah, what's funny about it is it's it's kind of hard for me to say because I wasn't, I watched the games, but I really wasn't there. But so it's
Mm,
a weird to answer that question but I really feel like we're peaking right now. Look, we're definitely playing good basketball, but it's hard for me to evaluate just because I wasn't on a day-to-day practices. Because I like to
mhm,
evaluate practice. What's exactly going on and the heartbeat. No pun intended, but the heartbeat of my team. Which is what's happening in practice every day. And so I didn't get so it's different, but we are playing good basketball. You always want your team to peak. And yeah, I hope that we could play even a little bit better. But we since I would say the last 8 games, we've really kind of put it together. And if you look at
mhm.
the margin of victory, we're winning even in district games and we're winning 15 to 20 points, and I think that shows. And again, the Bible team by 20. I think that says something because I'm with y'all on that. That's a good team. And then even Alexandria, we missed 8 free throws in the last quarter and still won by 9. You put those 8 free throws, you think it's a 17, 18 point game. And again, y'all, that's 2 quality opponents. So do feel like that we're playing our best ball, and I hope we got 2 more in us. It's going to take that, but yeah, no, we are playing pretty good, and our defense is just really really risen to the occasion, and I think our guys understand, that we talked enough about it that defense travels, man. And again, you go in a coliseum, sometimes the shooting is a little affected, but that's another good thing. Another good point I want to make is that we have played twice in the Cajun Dome. And those games, I played those on purpose because in the vision of, and as a matter of fact, I like to get, Keith Washington over at Hamilton Christian had that Martin Luther King weekend that we played in one time because he played it at Burton, and I wanted to experience that. I couldn't make that work this year, but again, I always try to play in a big arena for this particular time. We have played in the Cajun Dome twice. I think even mentally, psychologically, I think gives us a little bit of advantage, and so I think that's big for us going to this. I don't know. Pineville may have as well. I don't know. And I don't know what Liberty did. But I think maybe Liberty might have played at Southern. So that's one game. But anyway, everything we try to do, is try to prepare us for this week of basketball. And I certainly our schedule has alluded to that, along with playing in the Cajun Dome twice.
Okay. My next question, I was gonna say, um, first of all, good luck the rest of the way. But my last question is gonna be this, and you mentioned about your defense, and it has been the biggest strength of your team this year. Talk about another key that maybe goes, I don't want to say unnoticed, but kind of gets pushed a little bit to the side because of how good your defense has been. You talked about this defense could set a school record for, you know, uh, giving up the least amount of points in a season. Talk about another key that you're going to you're focusing on that is going to try to elevate you to maybe to win this state title.
Well, certainly offensive execution and turnover.
Oh,
I want to say this too. Free throws is one of my concerns going in. This is kind of a crazy thing too. But so watching the games, sometimes stepping back, you see things that you didn't see on the sideline. It's been really strange. You can't make this stuff up that's happened to me. And I got a different perspective. And one of the things that hit me was like, man, our free throw shooting, we just got to get better. And y'all, this is funny, but I literally texted my brother. I would talk to our staff. Even sometimes I did a couple of post games with our players, especially when we won the Country Day tournament. We were excited about beating Carr. And so that was a kind of a special moment. They zoomed me in, and my guys are jumping up and down. They fired up. I'm fired up. That was kind of special. I did a couple of pregame talks as well. Again, modern technology. They plugged me in. We have a TV in our room. They plug the volume on, and I give the pregame talk. So, I'm doing some of those things. But I seriously, during one of the games, I texted Ricky because, Ricky's the third assistant. And I texted him and I said, tell Money, the name of one of our players, tell Money to get his elbow up. He had missed 6 straight free throws. I said, tell him to get his elbow to the ceiling. He's shooting it flat. And so it never made it. It never made it to Money because my brother, he didn't even have his phone on him. So it never made it to Money. But that was kind of funny, y'all. And that I go to the dang chair in my damn living room to tell Money, get your free throws. Are you never going to make one? Get your elbow up. So y'all, I started looking at this free throw thing, right? Well, when the huddle stats came in, I did a season recap, and y'all, we're not good. We're like at 60%. So I started thinking, all right, let me see something. What are our opponents shooting? Y'all, 56. Isn't that crazy? How it's just crazy.
That's crazy.
The free throw is just, and look, y'all, think about this. Like I watch a bunch of college games. Think about how many college kids can't make free throws. Y'all, I blame it all on the ES. You got to blame it on somebody. I blame it on ESPN because they show dunks, 3-point shots, and half-court shots. So what do kids do when they come in the gym? The ones that can't even dunk, they try to touch the rim or the net. The post get 3-point shots and my little shooting half-court shots. So I blame it on ESPN, but free throw shooting is a lost art in the game of basketball. And I'm certainly concerned about that. But I said the only thing I got going for me is that nobody shoots them any good anymore. So hopefully, if we have a bad game, the other team will have a worse game shooting at the free throw line. So, but yeah, turnovers. we've been pretty good about that, y'all. We haven't turned. We have a lot of guards to be pressed because we have a lot of guards, and so we kind of handle the ball. I think we got a couple. So the press is one of those deals where if you don't handle it, yeah, they can lead to easy shots. But on the other hand, if you handle a press, sometimes you get good opportunities on the other end, and I think that's happened to us a little bit. We've been doing that all year long, so hard to press a little bit. But I think teams kind of have court have more success. But offensive execution, we really work on. I'm a kind of guy that we run this 5-man motion, and the thing about it is a lot of freedom, and there's a lot of reads, and you got to be able to do that. The bad part about it is that sometimes the guys that I'm not wanting to get shots are getting shots. So when I need a shot by a certain player, we have special sets we run, so that way I know who's shooting it, where he's shooting it, and when he's shooting it. And so we run those. So we've been working out lately on our special sets of basket. Here's are some of the plays we're going to run. So I think in a game that it comes down to that. I think again, offensive execution is big, and not turning the ball, getting free throws. Those are the three things that we've really concentrated on in this week's of practice.
Coach Danny Broussard, I want to say thank you for joining us. This has been a pleasure. We truly appreciate it. And good luck to you Wednesday night against Pineville.
I certainly appreciate everything. And now of your show. And this is the first time I've ever been involved with it, but I will be watching in the future. So y'all get at least one. And probably my guess is I got a few people who kind of follow. My guess is you'll be getting some more Lafayette visitors to your website here on out. So guys, y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all know what y'all doing. But no, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can tell you guys love the sport of basketball. I'm always trying to promote it. So thank y'all for what y'all do. I appreciate what y'all do for the game.
Yes, sir, Coach.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Right.
Our
Appreciate it.
pleasure.
We'll see you in Lake Charles.
See y'all at the top of the day.
You'll
Yes,
see VK Wednesday. I'm showing up
I'm already
Thursday.
there now.
Okay, I got
Once
you.
you get you in, I'll see you Saturday.
That's not. Hey, we'll make a deal. I'll see you Saturday.
There you go, Coach.
Hey.
There you go.
All right.
All
See you,
right,
All
Coach.
right, Coach.
thank y'all so much.
Thank
All
you.
right.
No problem.
Coach Danny Broussard. Oh man, that was fun. That was fun.
Yes.
I didn't know, not knowing him, but I knew he had some type of sense of humor when he responded to the tweet about when I said Bonneville has a chance to beat SEM. And like he said, through 3 quarters, it's a 5-point game. And he said it's the best 17 seed he ever saw. But you can tell he's a coach that sticks to fundamentals. And we always say in the game of basketball these days, fundamentals is a lost art, but you see it from him that is very important. VK, your thoughts quickly about Coach Broussard.
Oh man, now you see what I've been saying about Coach Broussard, man. He is a class act in itself. I'm like he's not just a bag, he's a great coach. You can say he's kind of the life of the party of it. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime you see him, not just on the court, but when you see him off the court, and when he'll come up to you, like he respects the media and other people around the LHSA so much. Like we might be out somewhere at a restaurant, he'll come pass by and might be with some people, or whatever. But he coming over and talk to you. He's coming over and say what's happening, see how you doing, and everything else. But also, when he starts saying them stories, look out, man. So I'm telling you, he always make a great evening for you, you know. But overall, I'm glad that he's back. I'm glad that he's back on the sideline doing what he got to do. And I said in the beginning of the season about STM, I'm like, regardless of the fact they're a dangerous team and they would get to the top 28 possibly, and they're here now with a chance. But I ain't gonna lie, that Pineville game is going to be interesting. And I'm glad Coach Broussard is not taking them lightly at all.
George Peppers, your thoughts quickly.
Well, I mean, to listen to Coach Broussard tonight, it's my first time actually interviewing him, being a part of it. I've learned a lot. And I'm still blown away by the fact that they lost to Carl Malone at Summerfield. That's Something to be said. And VK, to piggyback off of something VK said about Coach Broussard, I can imagine the three of us being out and about, and he'll show up. And guess what? We gonna be there for a little minute because them stories are gonna start flowing. And when they start flowing, you know us, we're gonna interject and throw some stuff in there, and then he's gonna tell us some more stories, and it's gonna be like, man, look, you drink from the fountain of knowledge. And Coach Broussard is that. He is an iconic figure in the state of Louisiana when it comes to coaches. 6 state titles, 9 straight trips to the top 28. No question. He's one of the best we've seen. This side of Charles Smith at Peabody. I would put him right in that mix too. Coach Smith has done an excellent job at Peabody as well. But Coach Broussard, man, it was such an honor to get this man on tonight. And I, I'm like you, Jared. I had a lot of fun with this interview. This is fun, and to hear that man talk and just the quick wit, even after having bypass surgery, his quick wit never disappeared. You could see how he answered and just humoristic ways too. And it was like, man, you know what? You're never supposed to be a fanboy in this business, and none of us are. But I tell you what, if St. Thomas More is successful and wins these next 2 games, just on the premise that what Coach Broussard had to overcome, it would be extremely special if they won this state title. But the
Yes.
task is not easy. Pineville's a tough spot, and potentially Liberty in that final is not going to be easy. But if there's a capable team that could do it, they can.
Right. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we come back. We're going to talk about the state semifinals. Me and George are going to give our predictions. VK is on site, so I don't think it'll be fair for VK to sit there where he is and say I picked this team to win. I don't think it'll be fair. Do you agree, VK? Do you agree?
And
He's
I
mad. He's
know
mad.
I'm not mad. I'm like this, man. Y'all do what y'all want to do. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just
You
asking
want my
if you
number.
could do it. If you could do it, do it. I just trying to
I
be a
want to
friend and
do
look
it.
out for you.
Journalistic integrity, Jared.
Okay. Well, he
I
said he
I,
wants to
I,
do it.
I want to do it because the thing is, I'm writing to be covering, and that's being unbiased on both sides anyway. So I'm gonna give the
Okay.
story of whatever happens. So
All right.
I'm not, and the difference is I'm not broadcasting. So why not?
True. All right.
So
Cool.
why not pick it? Let's
No,
go.
he is. He will. He is. He's
Okay,
gonna pick.
good.
He's gonna pick. All right. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the boys' state semifinals right here on the Hash It Out show.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hiller from Ponchatoula Lady Wave, and you're watching the Hash Out Show.
God, joined by my two co-hosts, VK Jones and George Peppers. Let's get right into it. We're gonna start with Division One, non-select. First game in this division is Thursday, March 7th at 6:15. You have the Ruston Bearcats taking on Natchitoches Central. I really think this is going to be a tough ball game, close ball game, but I have Natchitoches Central with the win. VK.
I think Niagara Central is a really good team and everything else, but the experience of Ruston will rise. Ruston gets to the finals.
GP.
Which one of you guys picked Rustin against Zachary last week? I thought I could swear one of y'all took a shot. But did we all? I know I picked Zachary, but I don't remember if one of y'all took a shot on Rustin
I
in
think
in
JP
that
did.
quarter.
No, I picked Zachary. I did not pick
I
Ruston.
picked Zachary
Okay.
too.
I mean, I know I did, Zachary. But as far as this matchup, you know, the carryover of Rustin winning against Zachary, I think sees them through into the final. Naked Central is a terrific basketball team. They wouldn't be they wouldn't be if they're not here. But I feel like Rustin with the carryover, there won't be a letdown. It's a state semifinal. I think the Bearcats move on to the final, but in an exciting game.
Okay. And then at 8 o'clock, a rematch of last year's championship here in Division 1 Select. New Iberia and Ponchatoula. And you know New Iberia, this is what they wanted. They wanted another shot at Ponchatoula after what happened last year. But I think this Ponchatoula squad is better than last year's team. I got Ponchatoula getting back to the championship. VK.
I have Ponchatoula getting back as well, but expect this game to go down to the wire. Here's the thing: I understand that Ponchatoula is better, but also New Iberia returned everybody. So they know one thing for sure, that this game here, they're not going to let let Ponchatoula dictate anything. It's going to come down to the wire, but Ponchatoula will win in a tight ball game.
GP.
This is the quintessential style matchup. Look at New Iberia's defensive prowess in these two wins in the playoffs against Neville and Southside. Combined total of 68 points. Ponchatoula, on the other hand, has scored 192 points in their two playoff wins. Which tempo wins out? BK makes a very astute point about New Iberia bringing everybody back. And don't think those kids don't have a chip on their shoulder. Ponchatoula has been great. But Coach Broussard said something earlier in the interview from St. Thomas More, and he said defense travels. I'm going to take a chance here. I think New Iberia, with their defensive prowess, finds a way and gets revenge and moves on to the final.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Right
We
there.
go.
That's good one there. Interesting.
Yeah. We go to Division 1 Select. St. Thomas More against Pineville Wednesday at 4:30. I think this is gonna be a close game for the first 3 quarters, but I think St. Thomas More in the fourth quarter finds a way and pulls away and gets the victory over Pineville. VK Jones.
I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you on that. I think it's going to be tight. I think Pineville has proven everyone wrong this year. They're a very, very good team. This will definitely go down to the wire, but I think STM will make just enough plays to get it done. STM.
Give
Joe.
a call to the central. Give a call to the Central Louisiana teams. Look at Pineville; they're here. Marksville made the semifinals. A Falls Public Charter won earlier today. They're into the finals against J.S. Clark Leadership Academy. But now this matchup. Look, the Rebels are very, very good, and they come out of a really good district. St. Thomas more though, and I keep going back to defense, and I just harken on that. I feel like the Cougars. This game is going to be close for about 3 quarters and a half, and the Cougars are going to find a little 6-0, 8-0 spurt where their defense becomes their offense, and they get a little separation. St. Thomas More is my pick.
All right. And in the bottom half of the bracket, we got Southwood Liberty. Southwood hit a game-winning three-pointer to beat Captain Shreve by 1 point at the buzzer. But I don't think that happens this time. I think Liberty will be a little bit too much for Southwood. I got Liberty, BK.
This will be interesting in itself. I think it'll be a good game for 3 quarters. I think Liberty will take over and handle business in the fourth quarter and pull away. Southwood very, very talented. They will give Liberty everything they have. But I think Liberty will pull away and get it done to get to the state final.
George.
I don't think so. I don't think so. First of all, VK is upset that Southwood won that game because he was swearing on the show, Captain Shreve, this is their time. They gonna get to the semis, and they go down like that. He's like, and if you only knew our Facebook chat, what he said after the fact, man, he was a little sour. But all jokes aside, I don't see the competitiveness that you guys see. I think Liberty wins this game in predominant fashion. I think Liberty's going to the
No,
finals. They're
I
a
said
team.
I think Liberty wins pretty big. I think it's
Me
about
too.
about 20.
I'm 15 to 20 is where I'm going to be. I think Liberty's going to wait for whoever comes out of that top bracket, and I'm not going to say more than likely St. Thomas more because I think that's a close game. But Liberty, Southwood's got nothing for them. I don't think Southwood's going to know what hit them this week.
All right. We're gonna go to Division 2 non-select Thursday, 8 o'clock. Excuse me, Wednesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Iowa
Mm.
and Bruley. And I'm telling y'all, if y'all thinking Iowa about to run away with this game, y'all better think again. This will be a tough, contested ball game. Our way wins in a close one. DK.
Get your popcorn ready. That could be one of the best semifinals we're gonna see all week long. This is gonna be a really good one between those two teams. Outside of Ponchatoula and New Iberia, this is gonna be another great semifinal. It's gonna be very, very close. Bruley is having an unbelievable year, and always having a great year too. It's coming down to the wire, but I think the Yellow Jackets gets to the finals.
It's not very often I agree with you, dog, but I'm going to here. Iowa gets to the finals. It feels like this is a team of destiny, Iowa. You know, they've built it up, built it up, built it up, and here they are. They've had two dominant wins in these playoffs over Saborga and Franklin Parish, winning in dominant fashion. I don't think it's going to be like that here, but I do see Iowa making it to the final.
Okay. And then right before their game at 6:15 on Wednesday,
Hmm.
Carroll and Wassman. And I think this was another close one that could come down to the wire, but I think Wassman pulls it out at the end. Wassman. DK.
Whew. I think this is a good one, indeed as well. Carroll looking to get redemption and get to the state finals. Walshman, a very good team, and a good coach in Casey Jones. Should be a very tight one. That's another great semifinal. I'm gonna go with Walshman by probably 3 to 5 points. It's gonna be really close.
Hey, George.
I think this is a very highly competitive game as well. I'm with you guys on that, and I'm going to tip myself to the favorite here, the slight favorite, Watson. I think they'll win this. And VK, I think you got it dead on. I think it's going to be in that vicinity of 3, 5 points, something like that. But Watson is my pick to go to the state championship.
All right. Division 2 select. And these semifinals are rematches of the semifinals from last year. First part of the bracket, Madison seed taking on Archbishop Shaw, number 4 seed. And if you saw the game last year, Shaw came out man-to-man coverage and went down 6-0 early. Switched to a zone that gave Madison Prep fits. This year, Shaw is longer, taller. What Coach Wesley Laurendine decide to do? Will he go man-to-man against Madison Prep, or will he go to the zone that gave Madison Prep fits last year? Shaw had to get out the zone coverage because Shaw couldn't shoot last year. Close ball game till the fourth quarter, but Shaw had to get out the zone. What will happen? I think the upset happens this time. Third time is the charm for these Shaw Eagles and Coach Wesley Laurendine. They win the semifinal matchup against Madison Prep and move to the championship. I have the Archbishop Shaw Eagles. VK Jones.
Of course, the person
Oh, no.
who's a big time alumni here on the panel. I had a feeling that was going to happen, and I think this game would be a very close game. But what we've been seeing the last two games, and what has been the theory that what we've been hearing on the messenger about Shaw winning the Catholic League. And here's the thing: look at the last two games. It proves
Oh,
my
wow.
point.
No, it
It
doesn't.
proves my point.
No,
It
it doesn't.
does.
No,
It does.
no, it
Yes,
does
it
not.
do. Yes, it
Go
do.
ahead, finish,
Yes, it
finish your
do.
point, but
Jared,
you are
Jared,
incorrect. Go ahead.
I am not incorrect because guess what? Those two games, if you know you're a better team than you are, you dog walk those two teams. And Shaw didn't. I have a bad feeling about this ball game. A bad feeling about this ball game. I think it'll be close, but if Shaw does not play their best, I think they're gonna get waxed. And
Ooh.
I think it'll be close, but I think Madison Prep wins the ball game. Too much experience. These guys want redemption, and they want to get back to that final and win it. So I think it'll be close. But like I said, Shaw better come with their best if they have a chance. If they're gonna have a chance to win.
Go ahead, George.
That bad feeling you got, VK, you sure it's not indigestion? I mean,
No, it ain't
okay.
empty. It ain't George. Look at the last two games.
I'm
Come
being
on, man.
facetious. Listen, I'm
I
being
know, I know,
facetious.
I know you're being fishy. I know,
Stop
but
tripping.
no, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
let me
just
make
saying.
let me pick it back off of something that Jared said. Shaw last year when they switched to said zone, remember what Coach Laurendine said? Or that they forced 11 turnovers in the third quarter alone. But Shaw had no shooting last year. They couldn't shoot the ball last year. They can do it a little better this year. And Madison Prep, when you look at their last game against Archbishop Hannon, I mean, it was the typical 1-8. Hannon gave them a little resilient challenge, and it was a single digit game for Madison Prep. Look what happened to Madison Prep when they beat y'all last year. They got dog walked by Carver, right? Carver popped them.
Yeah, Madison Prep couldn't
No,
shoot.
right. Same thing that y'all couldn't do against them in the semifinal last
That's
year.
correct. That's
So,
correct.
but
I
and
think the
and look,
last. Go ahead. So,
now I was going to say the last two games Shaw has played, it's not like they've overwhelmed. I mean, they've struggled against St. Well. They built up big leads in both those games and almost didn't finish. I think, objectively speaking, man, gosh dog it, I'm picking Shaw because I think they could shoot it better. I think, as you mentioned, their length, Jared, their length is more. I want to see more interior domination, physical on the inside. And I want to see said zone from the start. Don't fool around and play man to man. Play the zone because when you watch that tape, Madison Prep had no clue on how to handle it. Just that if Shaw could shoot it early, they win. And I'm going to bank on that they will hit shots that they didn't hit last year. I'm not being paid or bribed to make this pick, just for the record, but I'm picking Archbishop Shaw to win against Madison Prep.
and it ain't just the fact that Shaw had bad shooting last year. They have done that the last 2 years.
Oh,
This is the thing. The bugaboo, and I told you that, Jared. The thing about them, if Shaw get a lead, yeah, they got a chance to win. But here's the thing about Shaw that I have not seen yet in 2 games in the playoffs, and that's why I made the point about the cat league. Have killer instinct, meaning if you got the lead, Wesley Larndine, go put the game away. Meaning make a huge run, make a 15 nothing or 20 nothing run, put the game away and win by 17 points. That's killer instinct. We have not seen it yet.
Well,
mhm.
I think Coach Martin wants that. I think he knows that, and especially after that first game against St. Louis Catholic, and he mentioned that it was the worst game they played all year and still came out to win. I think he knows right now. I think he knows
Yeah.
he's been there. It's his third time getting there in three straight years into the semifinals. I think he knows what's at stake. He's experienced enough because he's been there. I think he knows we got to put games away now. And he sit there and told us on this show against Scotlandville, the third quarter, couldn't make a shot, missed 7 straight layups. Last year, couldn't hit a shot against Madison Prep. Those things happen. Shaw is in the championship 2 years in a row. Maybe this year, third time the charm. But let's move on. George Washington Carver and Peabody is also another rematch. Peabody led up until 3 minutes left to go in the game and lost Carver in the semifinals. This year, I think Peabody leads the entire game and walks out with the win over Carver. I got Peabody.
I think it will be. I'm gonna be honest. I think this game would be
It's
close
gonna be
for
close
at
still.
least. It's gonna be close throughout the game, but I think Peabody's got too many weapons, and I think if they get Leatherman in foul trouble, it could be trouble for Carver. But if Leatherman and Lawrence Nathan get on their game, could be interesting. But I think Peabody has too many weapons. Peabody will get it done.
GP.
Well, we've all seen Peabody play this year. We were at the El Ariel Center for the Sugar Bowl tournament, and I watched that game, the first game they played in, against Crescent City. And somebody here thought Crescent City had a chance in that game. I mean, but they didn't. Um, when you look at this matchup, I think defense is going to be the order here. Both teams play it pretty well. Carver's inside game with Leatherman is going to factor, but Peabody's pressure, Jared and VK, Peabody's pressure is the difference here. I think they do it and they execute it in a higher fashion. And I think the Warhorses are going to the championship in a close game, though. It will be close.
All right. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Division three now select. And to me, this might be the most intriguing one because we don't have a one seed, a two seed, a three seed, a four seed, or even a five seed. We don't. We
Nope.
have an 8, a 13, a 6, and a 7. And tomorrow, 6:15, you have Donaldsonville versus Red River. And man, where Red River came from, I can't even tell you. Man, they are playing some good ball right now. I think Donaldsonville and Red River will come down to the end, a very close ball game, but I think we're in for a treat with Red River winning by 2 or 4 points. I'm going with Red River. BK.
You riding that Red River all the way to the finals, huh?
Yeah.
Not so fast, my friend.
Oh wow.
Donaldsonville has been, this is their second straight year in the top 28. They lost in 3 overtimes to the 4-time champs, Port Allen,
Yeah.
in a great ball game. Donaldsonville wants redemption, and they will get it. Close game, but they will get to the finals.
Red River took out the team that took out the defending state champs. Go ahead, GP.
I am. Red River, another Senlaw team
Yeah.
that's into the semifinals, and it continues to show the growing strength of Central Louisiana basketball. I think they're going to beat Donaldsonville, and I think they're going to do it not resounding. I'm not going to say that, but Donaldsonville with the big with the upset of Front Settlement because I didn't see that game coming that way.
Right.
I feel like I don't think Donaldsonville's propensity to continue to feed off that upset's going to work here. I think Red River is riding that wave, and I think they're going to the final.
All right. Now, at 1 o'clock, Marksville against Richwood. I got Marksville. BK.
Richwood, 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 Richwood. They return to the finals. First time in a long time. Because Richwood usually is a regular in the top 28, and they're back. So Richwood in a close one against Marksville.
GP.
Ridgewood has put out the 26, the 10, and the 18 to get here. Marksville, on the other hand, has put out 11, 27, and 3. That last win against Winfield, which, again, I ain't mad when Winfield don't win a state title in a split. So good on you, Marksville. I'm going with the Tigers, man. Marksville's going to the final. I think Marksville's going to. It's an all send off final. Marksville, Red River, and that's going to be fun stuff.
All right. Division three select. We had one game played today, and VK saw this. University Lab defeated Dunham 44-41. VK, very, very quick recap of what happened in that game.
Very good game. It came down to the wire and everything else. You know, Elijah. Let me get his name right fast because this is the quarterback, the starting quarterback for the Dunham football team, who really gave St. Charles fits a couple years ago, and he was an 8th grader. He's a 9th grader right now, and Elijah Haven, and he was sensational in the ball game. It came down to it was down 3 points, and the defense University came up big. A 3-point attempt by Mason Laverne was blocked by Trashard Bush, and there was still 1.3 seconds left. They got the ball into Haven, and a tremendous defense again by University. Haven could not get a shot off. University beats Dunham.
Yeah. Now, being played tomorrow at 2:45, Isidore Newman against Episcopal. I got Newman, big, VK,
Newman big as well.
George Peppers.
Give Episcopal a call, guys. I mean, this is a resilient group. They've pulled off some big wins, but I cannot see them winning against Newman. Newman, especially the defensive clinic they put on against Country Day. VK, you were there. I don't see a scenario in which Episcopal wins. Nothing short of the rim being covered for Newman and not for Episcopal. Newman wins this game.
All right. Moving on, guys, to Division 4 non-select tomorrow, 8 o'clock p.m. Lakeview against Pickering. I have Lakeview. VK.
Agreed. I think Lakeview, they get back to the finals.
George Peppers.
I think Lakeview will get it done. They've had a couple of scares in these playoffs, but I feel like the deeper obviously now we're into the semifinal and Pickering, another Senwa team, Red Devils. And look, an unfortunate end to that game against East Iberville. I don't know if you heard, but there was a humongous brawl after that
Unfortunate. I
game.
saw the video.
Fans,
Saw the video.
I mean, it was disgusting in every facet. And I hope there's no carryover of that. Obviously, the fans be on your best behavior. Let's not get stupid or do nothing ignorant. But good on Pickering to get here. But Lakeview, I'm making it unanimous. Lakeview's going to the final.
All right. And then at 4:30 tomorrow, Franklin against Ringgold. I'm going Franklin. VK.
I agree. Franklin been there, done that, and they're trying to get in the hunt to get back to get to the finals. So I think Franklin, in their experience, like we said, the other side of Highway 90 coming through once again. I like Franklin.
There you go. George
Make it,
Peppers.
make it, make it unanimous. That was a
All
gut check win over Oakdale, and Oakdale team that I thought had a chance to get to this final. But I'm going to pick Franklin as well.
all right. Division 4 select tomorrow, Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Crescent City against Lincoln Preparatory School. VK, is this a rematch from last year or not?
Yes, yes.
Is this a rematch in the
Semifinals.
semifinals, right?
Yes, sir.
And Lincoln, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Lincoln's not in this time. Crescent City wins for Lincoln. VK.
Sweet revenge for Coach Brandon Russ and company. Crescent City.
Definitely. And George Peppers.
I don't see Dwight McGee playing for Lincoln Prep. I think he plays for Crescent City, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Give me the Pioneers in a resounding win.
All right. And then Thursday at 4:30, Hamilton Christian against St. Martin. Sorry, sorry, but I think Hamilton Christian defeats St. Martin. BK.
Gotta disagree with you on that one. I'm sorry. This is about to be an all local final. First time in a while. And an all metairie final at that. It's gonna be Crescent City against St. Martin's for the state championship.
George Peppers.
The Saints are coming, right, VK? The
Yes, sir.
Saints are coming. Who that say they gonna beat them Saints, right? It ain't Hamilton Christian. I'm with you. I got St. Martin's and Crescent City in what should be a terrific final.
All right. Division 5 non-select. We got one game in the books, and that's I'm in love with the Coco. And a Coco defeated Gibson Colvin 50-41. And a Coco is in the state championship game. Who will they face? Out of Zawali and the Greek. They're playing right now. My boy VK is in the media room, so he doesn't know. But I'm going to go ahead and say Zawali. Go ahead.
Well, I think we need to get an update on the score right quick because since it's playing right now, I think we should not even pick it. So I think let me check and see
Oh,
what
now
we
you're gonna
got.
ruin it. Come on now.
No, I'm not gonna ruin it because the game is going now, and it's probably fourth quarter. You can't make no pick like we think it's DraftKings around here. Last minute
Yeah,
picks live.
in-game betting, right? Sure.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be so wild. I could step out the door and see what the score
But I'll tell
is.
you what, you just made your pick. You go ahead and step out and let George do his pick, and you let us know what the score is. We'll catch you on the way.
All right.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, George. Who you picking?
All right. Seeing that you have a propensity for picking weird name teams like a Zawali and you're in love with the cocoa and whatnot.
It's a soul.
I could be petty and go with the underdog, but I'm not going to do that. I feel like Zawali is going to overwhelm the Greek, and I think they're going to win this game. I'd say by 10 to 12 points.
Yeah, so Wally and Anacoko, there are two teams that are always there, to be honest with you. So, all
Yep,
right, Division 5. Here we go. Division 5 select. Let's get it.
we already got our final.
It is. You're right. You're right. We have the
Hmm.
final already. Avoyas Public Charter defeated Rapides 58 to 46, and
Hmm.
J.S. Clark Leadership Academy defeated Episcopal of Acadiana 62 to 43. They will play
Hmm.
Friday at 12 o'clock. Let's pick a championship game in this one, George. I'm going to go J.S. Clark Leadership Academy.
I'm going with Walls Public Charter and Coach Benjamin. They've done such great work there, and he's going for the repeat. Here they are. Give me the top seed. They're going to get it done. Walls Public Charter Vikings win their second consecutive state title.
All right. All right, VK, what's the score?
640, no, 635 left, 46-35 is Wally with the lead.
So I told you. Zawadi. Every
Yeah,
year, baby.
nah.
Yeah,
All right. VK, who are you picking in the Division 5 Select Championship? Avoyas Public Charter or J.S. Clark Leadership Academy?
I think history is going to be made. There will be a new champion. Joseph S. Clark. Ross Ricks could make history on Friday. If he wins the state championship, he'll be the second coach ever in state history to win a state title in girls and in boys in 1 year. I
Wow.
did not know this until I went to the press conference that when Joseph has called girls won it, he's actually the head coach of the girls as well.
All right.
Currently.
At currently,
Oh,
He
that
wow.
is
coaches, wait,
currently.
coaches both?
He coaches both.
Wow.
Wow.
And
Okay.
Joseph S. Clark, this is the boys' side, this is their first ever final.
Woo-woo.
So if he wins that, he'll be the second coach ever to win a state championship in two sports in 1 year in basketball.
So wait. So
Stupid.
he won the girl this year.
Yes.
Man, that is crazy. I tell you what, BK, I'm telling you now, if he wins, that's a must to have
We,
on this show. That, that is a
yes,
must,
sir.
You
big
got
time.
if Joseph S. Clark win, I will make sure I talk with Coach Ricks. I already told him I'm actually gonna go do a feature with him later this week about Joseph S. Clark and the history that he's gonna possibility of history that that they probably gonna make maybe Friday, but I will write a feature on it before that Friday championship game for School Board Live. But at the same time, I will get with Coach Ricks. If they win it all, I will get his contacts and we will attempt to have him on the show next week.
Most definitely. Well,
And also
go ahead.
I talked with the guy from Fast Break Entertainment.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. He wants to get with you and stuff like that. He could be a really good guest on the show.
Oh, cool. I'll talk to him.
So
Not a problem. Yeah,
yes.
tell
So
him I'll be there Thursday. We'll definitely we'll link up without a doubt. So,
mhm.
everybody, that's our show for tonight. We're back tomorrow with the head coach of the Madison Prep. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Help me out, VK.
The Madison Prep
Chargers. I want to say
Chargers. There you
Warriors. I
go.
want to say Warriors, but the Madison Prep Chargers head coach Jeff
Chargers.
Jones will join us on the show tomorrow. And if he's watching the show, he might not like me for picking Shaw to beat them, but but
Oh,
hopefully,
he gonna get you.
yeah, it's all good, though, all good. But I have Jeff Jones on the show tomorrow. Um, and we're gonna talk about some of the girls' state championships tomorrow. I did want to get that in today, but Coach Broussard gave us a bunch of stories, man. I loved every minute of it. So we'll get to the girls' state championships tomorrow. Before we get out of here, guys, any last word, Mr. VK Jones?
Man, it's a great night. Great night tonight. Do the Hash It Out show. It was a privilege to have a legend like Danny Broussard on and everything. And I'm looking forward to seeing him on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's gonna do too much of going out to the you know what place. You know what I'm saying out here. You know because I didn't want to say nothing in the interview because you know
No,
the
don't do
fam
that.
man.
No, no.
No, no. That's why I didn't do that. But at the same time, you know who knows? He might have orders and be like, we want you to stay still, bro. No, don't go anywhere. But I wouldn't be surprised though, because he's a fun loving guy.
Yeah.
You know, so he's a very fun loving. But it was good to be on the show tonight, and you know, I'm here all week covering for Scorebook Live, a new little entity I'm working with, and also Crescent City Sports. So you know, very interesting week. Good start.
George Peppers.
Do want to pay tribute to a legend as us in the working media. We lost an icon yesterday, and Chris Mortensen, ESPN, great reporter, great person, died of stage 4 throat cancer. Been battling it for a couple of years. So our thoughts, prayers, and condolences go out to his coworkers at ESPN and to his family. Godspeed. And I don't like to end it on a negative thing, because we lost him. But on the other side, on the positive side, we have a great week of basketball forthcoming in Lake Charles. And look, they've had great basketball all year down there in that Burton Coliseum with McNeese dominating the Southland. So the level of basketball is going to stay high. And if Madison Prep beats Shaw, Jared, you might want to go into hiding, sir. I'm just saying because that man right there, VK Jones, is gonna hound you like a chihuahua. He is going to hound you. And the argument I wanted to bring up tonight, but we're not going to do it. And I'll leave this for the fans of our show that put comments in. Do you? And we could make this a poll question on the website. We could do that. Do you think Shaw would have won this year's Catholic League based on what we saw? You, Jared, your answer and mine, we already are in sync in that. I don't always agree with you, but in this case, I do, and we can debate this maybe tomorrow night. But I would put that up as a poll question on the Hash It Out Show site. And I do want to also wish the entity, Ken Trahan, and everybody best of luck. I don't know if y'all, I mean, I know y'all know, but to those that don't, Nash 1061 is no more. They have flipped formats. It is now a 24-hour sports network based with Fox Sports Radio. It is called The Ticket at 1061 FM. Best of luck with that entity. They're going to do great things. They've got the right affiliate, good shows, and they're promising to have more local entities on there too. So we'll see how that's going to play out and manifest itself. So, but looking forward to tomorrow night and talking to Jeff Jones. And you know what I hope he does, y'all? I hope he says who y'all picking, because I'm gonna just straight tell him. I might get Jared. I might get you to pull out the Vince McMahon theme. Just,
Look,
just because.
look. If he asks tomorrow, I have to say Shaw because I said it on this show today. There's no,
Yes, you did.
there's no crawfish back. No, I'm like,
Oh no. And VK picking you picking Madison Prep, right? If I remember
yeah,
right.
Madison Prep.
Okay,
Yeah,
but see, I picked
that's right.
Shaw, and it was a little trepidation, but I feel like I can't walk back what I thought about Shaw. What I said to y'all about the Eagles, that if they put this together, they can win a title, and they got to be able to play better than they did in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
But I feel like they will. I feel like they will. And if Coach Jones says who y'all picking, Vince McMahon's theme, no chance. Has to be
yeah,
played. I don't
Mm,
know. I don't want to disrespect the man, but just to do it in a humorous fashion.
most
mm.
definitely.
All right.
Yes,
But
indeed.
VK might get salty and be like, how can you disrespect the man? Something like that.
All,
I'm gonna tell him this
all
straight
I,
up,
all
man.
I
I
got to,
picked him yesterday. I picked Shaw this time. Well, I mean, I
Yeah,
picked Shaw
of
exactly.
last
course,
week.
he thinks so. He's gonna stick with
But
it. All I
you're an
know,
alumnus of Shaw. So there is a
of
little
course,
added onus for you to do it.
put that question on the poll, my friend. Please
I'm
put
gonna
that
put it
on
on
the poll. We
Instagram,
would like to see.
Instagram stories.
Put it on Instagram. So I want to see what our people say about it and everything. If Madison Prep wins, good old love
Uh,
It,
it.
don't- it doesn't even matter. That's irrelevant.
that's
See, the
exactly what
argument
Good
was
old
look how many Catholic League teams we talked about tonight. Zero.
zero.
Ain't none left. Shaw's still playing. That's the argument, right, Jared?
Shaw still
It's an
playing.
argument. It's an argument, but you can't debate it due to the fact that other teams that the Catholic League played in. playoffs. But it is what it is, y'all. It's still there.
Just looking forward to tomorrow night and doing this again with you guys. And um, we're gonna have another great show tomorrow night. It's gonna be fun stuff. Stay
Yep,
tuned. There's more to come.
definitely. Everybody, we're here. We will see y'all tomorrow night. For VK Jones, for George Peppers, I am JB the Sports Guy. See y'all tomorrow night, 7:30.
You're watching the Hash It Out Show!
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out Show.